Well, good day and welcome to the show. I'm Maggie Linton. It's the day after Election Day, and there were a few surprises. If you didn't vote, you don't have the right to whine about anything that doesn't go your way in your city, county, or state. Think about that the next time you decide not to vote. Later this hour, a startling look at guns and how they can affect lives. Craig Collins, Executive Director of the Center for Gun Analytics, opens eyes with his memoir, Thunder in the Mountains, a portrait of American gun culture. But we begin the hour with a different way to look at the life we're living. Hluchan is a spirit medium, Reiki master, motivational speaker, and author of How Have You Loved? Good morning, Karen.
Good morning, Maggie. How are you today?
Well, I'm just fine. Thank you so much for joining us. It took us a while to get together, huh?
It did, but it's fabulous.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're talking today.
I am too. Let's talk about how you began to realize that you had this special gift.
Well, it took me a while. I was born like this, but it wasn't until my 30s that I really woke up to it. And my best friend had passed when I was 17, and I had continued talking with her. And it just seemed very natural to me. I didn't think anything of it. And then when my dad passed, he really made his presence known to me. I knew he was around. I kept talking to him. And I thought in order to be a medium that I had to see them fully manifested as ghosts all the time. And that's not the case. I see them in my mind's eye as well. And when I finally realized that, I said, oh, my goodness, I have been a medium my entire life. And from there, it's just gone on, and I wrote my book, How Have You Loved, to try to help other people to understand how it works.
Yeah. With your book, the one thing you keep talking about, though, is they've got to understand what their presence is here on Earth in order to be able to even receive from the other side.
Yes, and it's really about loving who you are, and I mean truly falling in love with who you are. So you know how we fall in love with other people and we overlook flaws and things like that? Well, we need to do that with ourselves. And most of the time, though, what we do is we beat ourselves up with negative self-talk, and I teach people how to stop that, halt it, and replace it with something better and more positive about yourself. It's a lifelong journey.
Yeah. And the things we've talked about a number of times here is your thoughts of who you are and what you are about determines so much of who you are.
It is, and it helps determine your destiny. And the way that you think of yourself, if you think that you are not going to succeed or that you are a failure, you will be. And if you think that you will be a success and keep your thoughts positive about yourself, you will have more success. And it really does start with the inside. And I know that you know this, Maggie, because you are an awesome, very spiritual person yourself, that it all has to do with love.
Yeah.
It really does.
And how much you love yourself is where it all begins, because you can't truly love someone else if you don't love yourself. We aren't talking about excessive ego or anything like that, but just appreciating the person as who you are.
Yes, and a lot of people really don't. They don't appreciate the skills that they have, the abilities that they have, that they are beautiful on the inside and the outside. It doesn't matter what we look like. The beauty comes from within.
Yeah.
And truly loving who you are really sets the tone for your entire life.
That's true. Staying positive. All right. You got, let's talk about the 5 steps to living the life you are destined to live. Because again, a lot of people don't realize that that destiny is out there for them. And the sooner they embrace it, the sooner that those gifts can come to them.
The first one is being aware of the negative self-talk that you're, doing to yourself. So if you're sitting there saying, oh, I feel ugly, or that was really stupid, the first step is to recognize that you're doing that. The second step is to recognize the thoughts and stop. Even just tell yourself, stop. Halt those thoughts. Replace it with something more positive, such as, I am beautiful, and you know what? I did the best that I could with what I had, given the circumstances. So replacing those and setting aside that ego, which the ego is not the I'm so great ego, it's the ego that says that you can't succeed, and that's just an illusion. That's all an illusion. Next, what you need to do is really start looking at yourself, and I tell people to write a gratitude list about themselves. so that they can really see all of the things that they have accomplished and all of the wonderful things that they are. And again, it's not about, oh, I'm so fantastic and egotistical. It's not that. It's about appreciation. And lastly, once you have all of that in line, you can start opening up to your loved ones in spirit and to the messages that they will bring you and help you along the way. They will give you guidance every day.
You know, we have had people on talking about the guidance of spirits, but and you said, like you said, you hear it in your mind and things like that. And in a sense, it also becomes somewhat of intuition that you are also helped along with.
Intuition does play a role. Our intuition is our higher self, our spirit, and our loved ones in spirit, as well as the angels, our Creator. They speak to us through our intuition. So a lot of times, say if you are out and you're trying to make a decision about when to get a job or where, when is this going to happen? When am I going to get a job? You may hear a song playing in your head. Pay attention to that, because that could be your answer. They play music for us in our heads, in our ears, to give us messages. This is just one of the ways that they use it. So, for instance, if I'm saying, oh, when am I going to get that new job, and all of a sudden you hear the Monster Mash playing in your head, well, it could be Halloween or in the October area. Even my dad.
Or going to monster.com to look for a job.
Awesome. No, there you go. There you go. Absolutely. I love that. My dad, whenever he wants to give me a pick-me-up, he will play the song Don't Stop Believin' by Journey. And it'll come on at strange times. I'll be in the car and, we'll have rock station on, and all of a sudden Journey will come on, and it's just at the time that I need it. And they do this for everybody, not just mediums, and they also send you visual signs as well that they're around. I tell people to pay attention because they'll send you things that will remind you of them to let you know that they're around. For instance, with my grandmother, she was certainly someone who was religious, highly religious, but she also loved to bake. So when I see things that remind me of her, such as Spritz cookies, they're one of my favorites. And
what kind of cookies?
Spritz. They're a butter cookie. They're fantastic.
Oh, okay.
Hard to make.
Yeah. Not hard to pronounce, though, but definitely hard to make, huh?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
She also will pipe in the smell in my house.
Wow.
I'll smell it, and I'm not baking cookies. So whenever there's an unexplained scent in the air, think of your loved ones. Which one is it? The first one you think of is who it is.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, so it's just opening ourselves up. Once again, we're talking with spirit medium, Reiki master, and author Karen Hluchan. Is it Hluchan?
It's Hluchan. First H is silent.
Okay. With Karen, that H threw in there and go, no. Karen Hluchan. And she is here talking about her book, How Have You Loved, and also just some of her experiences and what we can do to open ourselves to receive, because that's really what it is about.
Well, and one of the other things that people can do is, and I know people hear this, but meditation, and that doesn't mean sitting in silence. That's very difficult to do, to shut your thoughts down. There are meditation journeys that people can take. In fact, I have one. If people email me today, go on my website and sign up for my newsletter.
And her website is healingspiritwithlove.com. Go
and
ahead.
Yes, and when you sign up for my newsletter and mention Maggie Linton, I'll send you a free meditation journey where you can visit your loved ones in spirit. It's wonderful. You get a chance to meet up with them and ask them a question if you so desire. Just say hello. That's one of the ways that you can get to communicating with your loved ones in spirit. They also come to us in our dreams. When you see a loved one in spirit, that's really them in your dreams. And you can learn how to talk to them. I do teach people how to do that. It's called lucid dreaming. And you're kind of getting out of the dream sequence and going into a conversation with them, but you're still in the REM sleep, the rapid eye movement sleep cycle. It's amazing. The first time you do it, though, you might wake yourself up.
Yeah, for sure. Folks, if anybody has any questions or comments, you're definitely welcome to join in the conversation. That number is 866-801-8255. Once again, that's 866-801-8255. As we look throughout the journey, because I always feel that that's kind of what it's like. As you look throughout this journey, you will sometimes have your down times, and you need to have that realization that things will get better.
Yes. Yes, this is something that I personally even go through myself, even though I have a direct connection with heaven and loved ones in heaven. This is something that as a human being, we're going to have, like you said, the ups and the downs. And when the downs come in, that's when we really need to tell ourselves that it will get better. It will get better. This will pass. And sometimes that downtime that we have, or the negative periods where we have some negative events that occur, there's always a positive reason for it. We just have to look for it. Sometimes we just have to wait for it. Take a step back. Hand all of your problems up to the Creator and the angels, ask them to help you with it, and take a step back. It doesn't mean that you don't do anything. It just means you're taking a little rest for yourself so that you can be rejuvenated for what wonderful things are coming ahead.
You know, and when you ask, you've also got to be willing to receive no matter what the answer is.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it may not always be the answer that you expect, and it may not come at exactly the time that you expected either.
Yes, and some people think that their prayers are not being answered when they don't get exactly what they want.
When they want it.
Yes, exactly, and it's not about our timing. Our guys and gals in heaven know better than us when we need to receive and when we, what it is and when we need to receive it. And we may be asking for something that's not good for us. Say, you're asking to have an ex-boyfriend come back into your life, or girlfriend or whatever. That person may not be the best person suited for you, so that prayer may not be answered in the way you want. What they'll do is send you someone even better.
And even more so, just asking for the right person to come to you. Because a lot of times as we ask, we're setting up all these parameters of what we want from someone, and it may be somebody completely different that we really need. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I find, too, that people who are primarily big givers, people who have big hearts, unfortunately, they subconsciously go towards people who are in the habit of taking, because we are going for the ones that are fixer-uppers. And it's not, we're not saying, oh, yeah, I'm going to pick you because you're going to destroy my finances. Yay! It's subconscious. It's, this person needs help, and you're drawn to them because of that. And if you make yourself more aware that you may be doing this, if you look at your patterns of people that you've dated, then you can say, whoa, wait a minute. Start asking for the healthy ones and recognize what your red flags are. Yes. And when they appear, pay attention. Don't ignore it. And when people talk to you, they will tell you who they are. They will. Don't ignore it.
Because, when I think about people who go for annulments, and one of the things that it asks for annulments is, were there any signs before you walk down the aisle to say, I do? And generally they are, but were ignored.
Yes, and that's why people get into a habit of getting into the relationships that aren't the best for them.
Right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Let's talk a little bit more about that. You have here why Mr. Wrong seems so right, because we always get a lot of calls about relationships, and how do you help someone who is continually going in the bad pattern?
Well, I help them by helping. First, we start looking at what are the red flags for them. Okay, so if someone you definitely don't want someone who is having trouble with alcohol and drugs. Those are red flags, right? Most of the time, we don't want someone who's controlling, things like that. So everybody has their personal list of, I am not going to date somebody that has these characteristics. So I have people write those down, and then I also have them write down the characteristics that they are looking for. And when they go out there in the world, I do tell them, too, to definitely call on your heavenly support team, which is your loved ones in spirit, the angels, the archangels, and also our Creator, to help you to draw the right person towards you. When you go out there in the world of dating and you make yourself available, if someone is displaying those red flags, don't think that you're going to change them. You're not going to change people. They are who they are. You must accept people as they are. And if they have these red flags, you need to go the other way.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. I mean, that way you're not just saying, oh, yeah, sure, I can change them. Everybody knows that's not happening. But inside we still think, oh, maybe they're not really like that. Well, yes, they are. And they're telling you that right off the bat. So I teach people to pay attention to that so they can have more success in their love life.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about you're a Reiki master, and not everybody understands also about Reiki and how it can help you. Just tuning you up a little bit.
Okay. Well, Reiki is energy healing, which all it does is, again, that healing comes from heaven. It comes through me and then goes to the recipient of the energy healing. And it is just a light touch. It's not massage. Some people think of it like hands-on healing. And what it's doing is rearranging your energy into its best, best arrangement for you. So to your perfect self, and that's mind, body, and spirit. And it works whether people believe in it or not. It will flow through and will give you a lot of relaxation and help you to align everything, whether it's if you have arthritis, that's something that could be worked on with Reiki energy healing as a physical ailment. If you have issues with in your heart of learning how to let go and forgive, that's something can work with. Or if you have something more at a deeper soul level, if you're questioning the existence of the Creator or you're just having a hard time with faith, it will help you to open yourself back up again to the most perfect self that you are.
Once again, we're talking with spirit medium, Reiki master, and author Karen Hluchan. Her book is How Have You Loved? Let's talk about the pets, because you do a little chat with pets too, and pets can actually come and help with the healing for you. And including, I have to tell you, with a friend, his dog died, and they went out and started looking for another one. And this one little dog just kept following them around, and they felt eventually that dog, one that had died, had sent this other one to them.
Absolutely, and they do. Our pets still help us once they've crossed over, and they do go to the same heaven that we do. I've communicated with horses, dogs, cats, birds. It's amazing. And the way that I hear them, by the way, it's not like I hear a dog going, woof, 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 woof. I hear them in English. So it's like the United Nations, where I'm wearing these headphones in a way that automatically translate, and it goes the other way. And this is for live animals as well as those that have crossed. And the animals here in our lifetimes, they are here to help us with our life journey. And they give us that unconditional love. They also give us signs. I tell people a lot of times I pay attention to the birds. And for me, when I see certain birds, that's certain signs. For me, a cardinal is fantastic. It's a great omen of something good that's coming. If it's a blue jay, I love cats, and they attack cats. So for me, blue jays are a little different. It just means I need to pay attention to my surroundings, and there may be somebody around me that intends to do some harm. So I just pay attention, or I myself might have to be careful and make sure that I'm doing everything in a very positive way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's and they can help you heal.
Oh, they do. Oh, they do. Well, one of my cats, Shadow, he loves to help heal people when I'm doing Reiki energy healings. He loves to sit in the room and be there to help people. He also is there when I'm doing readings, when I'm doing spirit medium readings for people. And what he does, if someone was very affectionate in life that's coming through in spirit, he will try to climb up on my lap and give me a hug to let me know that person was very affectionate. They speak with them. They see them.
Yeah. You know, the other thing, when I think of if you have like a bone that's out of place or something like that, or a sprained ankle, if you set your cat on top of that ankle, its purring will help heal that ankle.
Oh, I think a purr is the most magical sound in the world.
Yeah.
And I would have to agree with you there.
Yeah. I mean, it's been proven.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. We've got a call from Jenna in Connecticut. Good morning, Jenna. Or is it Gina?
Hi. Gina, yes.
Good morning, Gina.
Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Maggie. How are you?
I'm doing great.
I wanted to know from your guest whether or not she'd be able to give some sort of reading for me.
Maggie, is that okay?
Oh, sure. Of course. Go right ahead.
And it's Jeannie, is that correct?
Gina.
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 I'm going to explain very quickly how this works. So what I need you to do, first of all, is to keep an open mind about who would be coming through for you. And what they do for me is they will send me images of themselves close to the time of their passing, as well as symbols that mean something to you. They will also send me words, phrases, streams of phrases that will help to identify who they are to you. And they will also send me physical indicators of how they had passed, as well as anything unusual about their body and their height, things like that, weight. So I will share that with you, okay? Your job is to identify your loved one coming through. They may or may not give a name, all righty?
Okay.
I'll let you know that. So I will start describing who I see, and then I'll ask you if this person sounds familiar to you, okay?
Okay.
The first person that I am seeing here is a woman, and she is an older woman. She has primarily white hair is what I'm seeing. There is some gray in it. It is curled. It is short. This woman is wearing a white cardigan sweater. I'm getting the feeling that she wore them a lot because she definitely got cold a lot, especially towards the end. She was a little heavier in the abdomen area, close to the time of her passing. Her hips also might have gotten a little bigger as she got older in life. I'm starting to feel that from her. She also might have worn glasses. I'm getting the impression that she might have worn glasses. She has very sweet eyes. They sparkle a lot. She's also smiling at me. The impression that I get from her is that she is like a mother figure to you, a mother or a grandmother figure. Does she sound familiar to you, dear?
Yes, she sounds familiar, yeah.
Awesome. I keep getting the impression that this is a grandmother. Is that correct?
Yes, I do have a grandmother who looks like that, but I never saw her in a white sweater.
But did she wear sweaters, though, to keep warm?
Yes, she did wear sweaters.
All the time because she got cold?
Yes.
I'm also getting the impression from her that towards the end of her life, she sat a lot. I'm getting very winded right now with her, so this is, I'm having a hard time breathing. I am sitting now. I'm getting the impression she had a problem with her lungs and that she wasn't really communicating a lot to people towards the end. Does that make sense to you?
Oh, now I'm thinking about another grandmother that this might apply to. And
okay.
My other grandmother, I have two grandmothers that both passed, and the one that it sounds like now, that I thought it wasn't, but died of lung cancer.
Okay,
so,
and was she always cold, and was she heavier in the abdomen region towards the end?
Maybe a little.
Yeah, we're not talking huge, just a little heavier in the abdomen region and very tired, very exhausted all the time. Towards the end is what I'm getting from her. And I want to ask her, too, what her message is for you today. She's talking about a beaded necklace. Is there a necklace that you have or that your mother had that was hers, that was handed down? Do you know of? Some kind of jewelry showing me?
No, not that I know of.
That's okay. She definitely wore, I'm seeing something that is costume jewelry, not necessarily real, okay, not like gold or anything like that, but I'm seeing a nice chain that's costume jewelry. I don't know why she's showing me this. So that's why I asked if it was something that was in the family that had been handed down. She's telling me something as well about a dog. Do you have a dog that passed, dear? A black dog? Was there there a dog in your lifetime that you're growing up, or I'm seeing a black dog that is with her? Does that make sense to you?
Thinking.
No dog.
That's
No
okay. Did
dog.
she have a dog, dear?
Oh, no, not my neither one of the grandmas.
Okay. Well, what I'd like you to do is write down about the dog. Okay.
Okay.
And
I
you
will.
can remember later. If you do, you can send me an email, and my email address is spiritmedium@comcast.net.
Okay.
And sometimes people remember a little bit later about what the dog is. But she wants to send you her love. She's talking to me about she's talking about financial problems that you're having right now. Is this something that you're experiencing, that you're worried about a big bill that has come in?
No, not finances problem. I'm pretty good in that area.
Okay, well, she is talking about a big bill. This may be something that's coming up in the future for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, she's talking about a big bill that's coming in, and she's talking about the funds will come to cover it for you.
Oh,
So-
say that part again. I didn't hear you.
And that the funds will come to cover it.
Yes.
Oh,
There will be a big bill, and funds will come to cover it.
Yes, and I keep
Okay.
seeing something with $3,000.
okay.
$3,000. I don't know if it has to do with a car or something like that, because she's mentioning something like that. But she does want to pass on her love to you, dear.
Thank you. Okay.
All right?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenna. Okay, I've got to go.
All righty. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Once again, Spirit Medium, Reiki Master, and author Karen Hluchan. Her book, How Have You Loved, is available through Amazon.com and other locations. More at her website, lots more, including the free download. It is healingspiritwithlove.com. Put in Maggie Linton or Maggie Linton Show with that, and she'll send you that free download. healingspiritwithlove.com. She's also on Facebook and tweets at Spirit Medium KTH. Thank you, Karen. Good chatting with you.
Thanks, Maggie.
And coming up, Growing Up with Guns. Stay tuned.
Stories that inspire you. You are listening to The Maggie Linton Show on SiriusXM Urban View.